Good morning, everyone, and welcome to St. Elizabeth's East. My name is Latrina Owens, and I'm the Executive Director for the redevelopment of St. Elizabeth's. Today, we are thrilled to celebrate the delivery of yet another project for our residents on this campus under the leadership of Mayor Muriel Bowser. So I always like to run it back, so that's what I'm going to do. In 2018, we opened the Entertainment and Sports Arena, now the home of the 2019 WNBA champion Washington Mystics. In 2019, we celebrated the opening of the first affordable housing projects, the residences at St. Elizabeth's East, which delivered 202 affordable units. In January, we officially opened the new 801 East Men's Shelter, and a month later, we broke ground on the construction of the new Cedar Hill Regional Medical Center, starting a new chapter for health care for our residents east of the river. Today, we officially welcome our first home ownership project here at St. Elizabeth's, the District Towns. 88 for-sale units, 27 of them being affordable. And this won't be our last thing to deliver. While today is a huge day for us, we will continue to transform this campus into a world-class destination full of mixed income, for sale and rental housing, new office and retail, and other neighborhood serving amenities. I cannot wait until we have you back here for another event in June when we break ground on our Incubate the 8 interim retail village. Now please join me in welcoming two of our residents, a long-term resident. He's been in the community for over 40 years, Mr. Nathaniel Howard, and one of our new homeowners, Mr. David Clark.
Welcome to Congress Heights. Like I said, my wife and I, we've been here over 41 years. My wife, I definitely want her to just stand up where she's somewhere here, Stephanie. And we are celebrating over 50 years of marriage. Happy. When we first moved here, over 41 years ago, that was before the Congress Heights Metro Station. But we had a vision. When we first looked at this campus with the fence around it, we said it was like a separation from the community. We said that can't exist. We was part of the Congress Heights Community Association. For over 30 years, both of us did the Congress Heights Parade. Years ago, to present the community, we decided to have our parade come straight through St. Elizabeth. And that was the first time a lot of people really experienced the joy and the beauty of this campus. So I want to say that as we look at what's happening now, we greatly appreciate, we think it's great for the community, and I'd just like to welcome our new member of the community, Mr. Clark.
Good morning, all. Me and my wife are looking forward to moving here to St. Elizabeth's East. We saw all the new development and all the things that are coming here, and we just couldn't beat it. We saw the developer, we looked him up, and he looked strong. So my wife said, we got to come. So looking forward to seeing all of you all in the future.
Now I have the task of introducing someone who needs no introduction. But I will say something. In her own words, a relentless commitment to a fair shot for every resident in the District of Columbia. Over the years, I asked myself a question. How do you make a visible difference in the community? It takes dedication, commitment, passion, compassion, but also attentive willingness to make a visible difference. And we do have someone that made a visible difference throughout the city, and mainly in this community. We appreciate it. But when I think about this mayor, some things come to mind. As I look at Bowser, The B to me stands for someone who is broad-minded, bold, and brilliant. The O, an outstanding organizer. The W, worthy, wise, a willingness to serve her community, her city. S, strategic, thinker, sincere, and secure. E, empowerment, encourager, enthusiastic, and even enchanting. The R, remarkable, relation builder, resilient, resourceful. So I like to present to someone who is bold, who is outstanding, who is worthy, who is a strategic thinker, who is empowering, and is remarkable, who stand in a position that no other mayor in this country not only serve as the mayor, serve as the county executive, and also serve as the governor. So without further ado, I want to welcome the Honorable Mayor, Executive Director, and Governor of Washington, D.C., Ms. Muriel Bowser.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Now that's the introduction. Thank you. As I was sitting there, I do this little thing with my daughter when she does something cute. I go, aw. And that's how I feel. So thank you so much. I want to thank you, Mr. Howard, and congratulate our new homeowners and welcome to your new home in Ward 8. We're very, very happy for you, and we're happy for this community. I also want to acknowledge our outstanding executive director, Latrina Owens. Latrina, please stand up and get our appreciation. Was glad to follow a woman who is helping to lead the transformation here in Ward 8. I, too, want to acknowledge Deputy Mayor John Falchicchio. Give John a round of applause. And Kenyon McDuffie, our council member for Ward 5, and also the council's chair for economic development. Thank you for being here, Council Member McDuffie. So Latrina did give you the rundown. We have opened affordable housing. We all were there with the wonderful Baloo Marching Band to welcome new residents to their home. We are so proud of our Washington Mystics. And remember when I promised you that the district would be the first in on this campus. When I was elected in 2015, there was literally nothing happening. We had a lot of promises to deliver our anchor tenant, but the district needed to be first. We marched down to that city council. We had to do some fighting. Some people forget that. To get the $51 million, I think was the number, that we needed to build the entertainment and sports arena. I was proud to stand shoulder to shoulder and side by side with Ward 8 residents to get that done. And I remember our friend Mary Cuthbert, who was so instrumental in making sure that the Council of the District of Columbia wouldn't short Ward 8. After we have, as a city, have helped build a national stadium, DC United Stadium, and the Verizon now Capital One Arena. We helped build all of those, and now we've helped to deliver this one. We also promised to make sure that we had a high-quality hospital, full service east of the river. A very complicated and difficult thing to deliver, but with your help, we have a wonderful partnership with GW Health. We've broken ground, and you're going to have right here at the St. Elizabeth's campus, not just for Ward 8, not just for Ward 7, but for the entire city, Cedar Hill Regional Medical Center in 2024. So I'm very proud of that. So today we're talking about, now many of you have heard me talk about home ownership. We have made it a focus of ours in DEMPED to make sure that we're promoting more home ownership. Everyone knows, and it's worth restating, that black wealth is largely created in this city when people own their homes and they can build equity in their homes. That's the story of my life. I was able to buy a house at 27 for $125,000 in a neighborhood that was good, that was on its way to being great. And because I was able to do that in a first-time home buyers program, that house has grown equity and grown equity and grown equity, and it's allowed me to do big things in my life, including quit my job and run for office. It did. Allowed me to do that. It's also going to allow me to make sure my daughter has what she needs. And so that's what we want for everybody in our city, to be able to invest in a good neighborhood, make it great. And that's what we're going to do right here at St. Elizabeth's. We'll have this 88 homes here, combined with the residents at St. Elizabeth's. We're going to have 340 new Ward 8 residents. And two-thirds, 66% of the unit designated as below market rate units. So we're very happy about that. Of the 88 homes, 27 are designated below market rate. So we are continuing to place a lot of emphasis on how people can follow the path that I just told you. First-time homeowners, people who are downsizing, people who may be retiring and want to own a home in Washington. And my budget before the council right now includes a home ownership fund, $10 million, a black homeowners fund, where we will strategize together this summer on strategies for more Washingtonians to be able to own their homes, for more Washingtonians to have legal services that will allow them to make sure that they can keep their homes and pass them on to the next generation. We have also included $500 million. This is on top of the $1 billion we've invested in the last 7 years on building and preserving affordable housing in Washington, D.C. And so that will get us to 36,000 new units in just a couple of years, and some very robust strategies to promote and preserve black home ownership in Washington, D.C. So that's what we're going to be about, and we're going to work hard to do it, and we appreciate all of our partners in this process, who you're going to hear from some of them in just a minute. But before you do, I want to introduce you to a partner in this work who's fought with us on preserving those affordable housing dollars in every part of Washington, D.C. Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie.
I usually follow the mayor's lead on that. I appreciate it, Madam Mayor, and thank you, and good day to everybody here. I'm so delighted to be standing with you all on the campus of St. Elizabeth's for such a wonderful occasion. Madam Mayor has worked hard to make sure that the city is funding opportunities to preserve existing affordable housing in the District of Columbia, a city that is becoming, for some folks, increasingly unaffordable. It is essential, and this government has been intentional in our efforts to make sure that we preserve existing affordable housing, but also to build new affordable housing. We've seen multifamily housing go up all across the city, and that goal to build 36,000 new units and 12,000 affordable is really a worthy goal, and we are well on our way to achieving it. So I want to give Madam Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Falchicchio, Director Latrina Owens, and the entire team a round of applause for all their efforts to get that done. Now, the St. Elizabeth's East Campus in particular has come a very long way. What was once 183 acres of untapped potential, formerly owned by the federal government, is now home to, as was stated, a new men's shelter, a sports and entertainment arena, broken ground for a new hospital on this campus, and now these for sale homes for district residents. This is so important. Over the last several years, I've spent time as the chair of the Committee on Business and Economic Development working with the deputy mayor and the mayor and their team to do just these types of things. Because as the mayor stated, one of the ways that people in this country have built wealth that they've been able to pass down from generations is through home ownership. I know this firsthand. I live in a home that my grandparents bought back in 1952, and not far from here, my wife grew up at a home that her parents bought for the first time when they bought their first home on Newcomb Street, less than a mile from where we're standing right now. And so we know by example what this means. And for the people that are here today, the Clarks, for Lashana, who's a nurse, to be able to get a home on this campus, it takes vision, it takes drive, it takes commitment, it takes resources, and it takes a government that stands with its residents to say we're going to be able to deliver on these types of things. And the council has been a willing partner with this mayor to be able to deliver. So I'm delighted to be here today. I can't wait to cut the ribbon and celebrate this opportunity. Thank you all. Now we got the Deputy Mayor Faucicchio coming up.
I always feel like you're playing rock, scissors, paper because you don't know whether to shake or not. But thank you, Councilmember McDuffie. And I'm just here to say thank you. Thank you to the community for opening your arms to what's been proposed here on the campus. One thing that's really great is that if you look on the other side of the homes here, there's no fence anymore, right? So this campus is part of the neighborhood. And so that, I see a thumbs up from Mr. Howard. That's an important part of that. And it's a design feature that you wouldn't notice if you just drove by, but it means everything to the community. So thank you to the community for standing with us. To our team in Demphead. So you heard from Latrina Owens. Let's give her another round of applause. She's doing so much on this campus that she left some things out. She's bringing a brand new library to the campus as well. The DC Public Library will be moving from the shopping center and have its own home right behind you. And then also, right behind you, you see a brand new office building. And that's going to be the new headquarters for Whitman Walker. So Latrina Owens, Saroshad Padwala, let's give them another round of applause for their work. And then we don't do any of this without lawyers. So Latrina calls them the firm. So Mark, Aisha, and Adarsh, thank you all for your work on this as well. And really what we want to do is make sure that we keep delivering on that goal that Mayor Bowser, just somebody going to work, that the mayor laid out, 36,000 by 2025, right? And so far, we are about 60% of the way there. Which is really good. We should applaud for that. The 60% of the way there on the 36,000 by 2025. But in that, there's also a sub-goal. And that sub-goal is to deliver 12,000 of affordable units as part of that 36,000. And we're about a third of the way there. So the mayor mentioned her Fair Shop budget. And in that Fair Shop budget, she's doubling down. So over the first 7 years of her time in office, we put $1 billion into the Housing Production Trust Fund. Now, in this year alone, in the mayor's budget proposal, wait, hold the claps for this one. She's actually putting, just in 1 year alone, $500 million into the Housing Production Trust Fund, right? So I told you we were 60% on the overall goal. We're a third of the way. That $500 million is really important because it means that we can make up where we have to on that affordable goal, right? So that's what we want to do. So the 27 units here on this campus contribute to that goal. So we thank everybody for their work here. We're really excited, too. We haven't mentioned in full, as we should, Lashana Pace, who's sitting right behind the mayor. And we're actually, we've got to give her applause because we're all going to go into her house in a moment. So let's thank her. We were talking earlier, and I said, this is a way to have a housewarming party. Right? So we're excited that she's going to be one of the first residents here. And what you'll see, and I know Mr. Howard and the Clarks will keep a close eye on this, over the next couple months, you'll see more stacks of these townhomes being built around kind of the perimeter of the campus. So we're really excited about all that is to come here on the campus. And with that, I want to bring up our partners who have helped us think about what could become here at St. Elizabeth's East. And I want to bring up first Red Brick and their managing partner, William Passmore, to talk a little bit more about these townhomes and what else we have going on this campus. And we're all going to hold him accountable to make sure that he keeps delivering for the residents. So let's bring him up.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you. I'm William Passmore, a founder and managing partner of Red Brick LMD. On behalf of our entire team at Red Brick and our partners at the Knutson Company, we're honored to join Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Falcecchio, Latrina Owens, our longtime partner here, the Executive Director of St. Elizabeth East, and many other city leaders as we welcome you all to this ribbon cutting for the district towns of St. Elizabeth East. We're thrilled to play a long-standing role in the redevelopment of St. Elizabeth's. As many of you may know, we've worked on several projects here to date. First, we helped organize the development and renovation of the affordable housing units over to our left. We have been working on the Whitman Walker building for a number of years now and look forward to its completion, which will be several months from now, not too long from now. Of course, we're thrilled to be working on the townhouses. I'll talk a little bit about those in a moment. But also just want to let everybody know that the buildings behind us and the parking lot, the blue lot behind, will over time become a mixed-use development with retail, office, and still more affordable housing. And we look forward to sharing the plans and those projects with you all in due course. Today marks the exciting realization of a vision for these townhouses that started about 7 years ago. A vision to bring home ownership to 88 families in Congress Heights, consistent with our unwavering commitment to building with intention. District Towns is the next chapter in this important vision for St. Elizabeth's East. We're proud that 27 of our homes are designated as affordable. 14 are available to households with an annual income at or below 50% MFI, and 13% are available, 50% MFI, and 13 are available for households with an annual income at or below 80% of MFI. 2 weeks ago, a Red Brick team was standing on the curb about to tour one of the units, and somebody pulled up in a vehicle and asked if our homes were for sale. It was a nurse, interestingly, another nurse. The answer was yes, and he immediately asked to learn more about and see if he could afford to purchase one. This individual represents the type of owner that many of these homes were built to accommodate. As of now, 28 of the homes are under contract for sale and will continue to release units for sale as they near completion. There is a long wait list of additional buyers from a very wide range of social economic backgrounds, which is wonderful to see. We join the mayor in the belief that bringing together all walks of life and socioeconomic levels is critical for enhancing the richness of any community. And the fact that these homes can be bought and purchased by people who are not otherwise able to acquire townhomes with the rising home prices everywhere gives us particular satisfaction. With all of that, I'd like to just thank a few partners. The Mayor, Bowser, thank you. Deputy Mayor Falcecchio, Saroj Opadwala, I'm not sure if he's here today, but his team has been an invaluable partner for us throughout. Executive Director Latrina Owens again. All of the ANC 8C commissioners, and especially Chair Salima Dofo. We have worked... There have been many, many people, and obviously Mary Cuthbert, who unfortunately isn't here today, but she was very instrumental throughout the process. But all of the members of that ANC have spent an enormous amount of time and have been very patient and valued partners throughout this process and have helped us enormously. I have to thank Don Knutson, who will speak in a moment, and the whole of his team. Mana Homes, our affordable housing partner. Our CBE partner, Greg Cardona, and I've seen several of the representatives there raising their hands, Juan and etc. We thank them very, very much. The district agencies, DDOT, DHCD, OP, DCRA, and many other agencies, thank you all for your help. This has been a very complicated project, and we really, really appreciate all of your support. And then I also just want to thank the Red Brick development team, the construction team, and all of the consultants who have helped us along the way. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to add my thanks to the long-term neighbors of this community, particularly Mr. Howard, but all of you who've helped us and again been so generous with your time and have generated so many great ideas as we've helped put this vision together. Days like this are a cause for celebration. It's important to celebrate the success of public-private partnerships, and we look forward to continuing to bring additional ownership to residents of Ward 8. On behalf of my Red Brick colleagues, thank you all for being here today to celebrate the opening of District Towns. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Don Knutson, the best builder in Ward 8. The best builder east of the river, Don Knutson.
Thank you, William. The good news is I'm not quite as verbose as William, so I'll keep my comments short. I'm actually the last speaker, so I stand between you and the ribbon cutting and the food. Let me say that on behalf of the Knutson companies, we couldn't be more thrilled to be here today. It was a little over a year ago we stood at the groundbreaking, and many of you were here. And I said, I love a good groundbreaking, but I really love a ribbon cutting. Ribbon cuttings are celebrations of new home ownership, and celebrations of the teamwork that it takes to build a project like this. And we are the builder, per se, but I can assure you that many people with many efforts built this community. We are honored, humbled, and thankful to be a part of the team. And one thing you can't do is say enough thank yous, so I do have a few more to go along, and I know it's perhaps reiterative, but it goes without saying. First, to the neighborhood, Mr. Howard, it's tough when a new construction community shows up in your backyard, and we have worked together. He said, sure is. Do you see that? It is directly in your backyard. And so we have worked together. To our subcontractor base, over $11 million of the project is going to DC CBEs. And I think everybody knows the last year has not been an easy time for construction. Pandemic, supply chain disruption, and we've worked through all that. So our subcontractors have played a huge part. And finally, a shout out to the DC government. We've encountered issues along the way, and we've had nothing but cooperation that have helped us bring this to reality. So those are many thanks. I would like to take a minute and introduce my on-site team, because I can do everything, but it all hits the road at the on-site team. So if you guys could come up here. Let's see, Brett, Charles, Kay, and Krista. Now you're not going to recognize the two gentlemen because this is our project manager. Come on over here, you guys. This is Charles Fullilove, our project manager. You will never see Chuck in a suit, other than today. But Chuck wore the suit, as did Brett, out of respect. And this is Anthony Pickett, our punch-out mechanic. And last but not least, our two sales managers, Krista Hodge. Krista, you're going to say a few words here. No, you won't. All right. And Kay Placeris. So let's have a big round of applause. This is where it happens, right here, okay? This is our team. Thank you very much. All right. You see those smiles? Because that's what happens when you're building homes for people. So the last thing I'd like to do, I know we have some homeowners here today. If you're a future homeowner at District Towns at St. Elizabeth's East, stand up. All right. This is why we're here. And this is what I'd like to say. We truly appreciate you placing your trust in us to build you a home. We take it very seriously. I know that you've formed relationships with Chuck and Brett and Krista and Kay and Anthony, and even today meeting some of you. So we're going to do our level best to deliver you a great home. We're here for you. That's why we're here. That's why everybody's here. All right? And so with that, thank you very much. I think we're on to the ribbon cutting. Thank you.
Okay, before we cut the ribbon, it's actually Sam Ford that's standing between us and food. I'll take a few press questions, and
So
if there are a few community questions, then we're going to cut the ribbon. Sam?
Well, yes, ma'am. What is affordable?
What is affordable? So, what most experts suggest is that any person should spend 30% or below of their income on housing. When they spend more than 30% of their income on housing, they start to feel housing squeezed or housing burdened.
And so what is the income, let's say the lowest income of a person that could be considered for a house?
Let me ask one of the team members to talk about the levels of affordability here.
So Sam, I'll get you some more information, but as was talked about earlier, it's 50% below or 50% and below of MFI, so that's about $50,000. But it also depends on the household size, because if the household size is bigger, then that number actually goes up. So that's why it's kind of a sliding scale depending on the income, but also the size of the household.
But the question is basically, because, for example, I heard Sandra Seegers once say, "Don't build another house over here because we can't afford it." Mm-hmm. The question is, what is the least that a person can, let's say, a family of four, I don't know, but the number where they could be able to, say, move into one of these houses?
So I'm not as good at the math that I'd be able to do that right off the top, but what the mayor alluded to was that it's set by that 30% of their income based on their the income of the household and the family size of it. So I wouldn't be able to do that math right in front of you right now, but that's the formula to make sure that we deliver housing that all of our residents can afford.
Any other questions? All right, let's cut the ribbon. And I have a key here. Okay.